And our wish was granted. Close air position in this game to the right side of the map. In the red color, we have our player for Team MVP. It is
MVP King.
He's down a game against his opponent.
We talked about this yesterday, but we love MVP Keen's jacket, man.
Yeah, that thing is so cool.
He's like the
commander.
Yeah, he is like the commander.
It's the Commander Keen. There's just no way around this nickname.
No.
He's Commander Keen. That's what it is. To the bottom of the map, though, we have his opponent, and this is in the blue color.
Slayers MMA.
Player that basically needs no introduction. Former champion.
I love thinking about the history of StarCraft II where it is right now. We're only about like 2 years-ish in, and if you think about everything, though, like the characters that have developed in this game, like you can think about Boxer, for example. StarCraft 1 player came back into StarCraft 2. He's like the old king. Then you have the new king, who's MVP. Then you have like the Prince of Boxer, who is MMA. Then you have these small like little knights like Keen.
Don't forget about Marine King.
Of course, man. Marine King is like, he's like the rebel king. He like thinks he's king. He declares that he's king. Even changed his ID to Marine King.
That's a lot of kings.
But MVP is like, no, man. I am the king. It's just, there's so many cool stories. Like I know I'm like just calling people kings and stuff like that, but that's what Koreans tend to do.
We even
with
have
their
a
IDs.
Ghost King.
We do. We have that as well. You just have all these different characters that have different storylines. Like Polt, for example, he's a student at first. He's a casual Warcraft 3 player, but somehow is able to make this into a big career for him. I mean, just I'm talking about Terrans almost exclusively right now, but Terrans have been pretty dominant in StarCraft 2, especially in Korea. Let's just be honest for a second.
That's definitely true. And, well, we have another Terran in the final on Saturday, guys. So if you don't miss out, just simply don't miss out on MVP playing in the finals. This is going to be really great. We have a TVP, MVP against Squirtle. And actually, there's one thing that I want to mention before we focus on the game, where we see a double gas now coming up for MMA. There was a video released today, which you can see on GOMTV.net, because MVP played against Squirtle in 2011, at the end of 2011, in the GSTL.
A game I will never forget, man.
And the VOD is now free to watch, so check out GOMTV.net if you already want to have a little bit of a preview what you could expect to see on Saturday.
I remember when I watched that game on Terminus Re, I was sitting at my computer. It was before I was in Korea, in fact, and I was still at home, living in Atlanta. I remember sitting at my computer desk going, oh my god, StarCraft 2 is going to be awesome. Like, I had my doubts, but after I watched that game, I was like, no. These players are becoming too strong, and the game has so much to evolve. It was the first Team League finals. It showed that Team League had a lot of potential as a great league as well, which is something you guys can also look forward to. Calvin and I will be casting Team League in the future, as well as having Team Liquid and Fnatic joining us. Well, we have these two players going for basically similar builds to what we saw last game. Command Center after Barracks or MMA, double gassed into Factory. Keen, on the other hand, going for Reactor Hellions as he expands, almost doing a TVZ build here. Probably will follow up with Delayed Cloak. Actually, no, he's going to go ahead and switch through here.
Yeah, he's going over to the tech lab with his Factory, not adding, well, he's adding the starport, but we can rather expect him to go for Medivac production than another Banshee over here. So a little bit more of a passive opening for these two players. The Keen not showing the aggressive play with the Banshee opening that he used in the last map. But he's able to sneak in here.
He bullies his way through.
Yeah, I actually didn't expect him to go for it. But
no, I didn't either.
Nice.
But he actually knew.
Yeah, he delays the starport here.
Delays the starport, sees the starport, may even take a few more SCVs with him. He may even escape. If he had tried to, he probably would have, but damages a few SCVs, kills just a total of 3, it looks like.
4 in total.
4 in total,
The scout as well, I guess, so that makes 4.
Well, his command center is now up and running as well here. Keen taking a pretty good lead, pretty good advantage here going to the beginning. We do see Siege Tank production started for him as well. He has not started Siege mode, however. There is the Delayed Cloak coming out for MMA.
Indeed there is. The second gas now, so the third gas for Keen. And he should know about it. He saw everything that could happen, so that's definitely a possibility that he has to take into account. So I guess that we will see some preparation by him.
I almost feel as if, I don't know, it's really weird that he's not making a Viking right now. I feel as if maybe he scouted the starport and he was like, well, he just won't make a Banshee now because he thinks that, he's like, well, since I saw it, he won't do it. And MMA may be thinking, since he thinks that now I'm not going to do it, not only am I going to do it, but I'm going to get Cloak.
He's getting the medivac right now, and I completely agree with you, Wolf. I thought that he would go for Viking here as well, just to be on the safe side. And it's not only about the Banshee, but at the same time with the close air positions that we have, and MMA once again going for a bio play, he could use the Viking to make sure that there's no drop play going on, no shenanigans.
Kaldor, he's seen this army moving out as well. This is going to be a great moment for his Banshee coming here. There are no turrets, there's no Viking, and there are no Marines. He's about to have Cloak as well. This could potentially be awesome for MMA. Here we go. The first kill has been gotten, and he's got a medevac here to help out, but that's it.
He needs to heal those Marines. There are only 2 of them, and they won't be enough.
No scans, no. 1 scan just ready here, but that is it.
He's really struggling. He has to pull back with his SCVs at this point. And
oh man, he's basically going all in.
Yeah.
He is going to attack at the front of MMA. He's making a bunker though. He does not have very many units. Remember, he has Cloak not only offensively but defensively with his second Banshee here.
Siege mode is done. It just started for MMA and done for Keen. The Banshee is still pretty annoying. We have a second Banshee trying to end this push. Where's the scan? There is no scan. Is there one available? I actually don't know at this point. I don't think so.
Scans.
In the main base, he's trying to set up a missile turret, but here comes the attack. Immediately, MMA pulls a lot of SCVs. Tons of them are dying. The push is finally being killed. But how many SCVs did he lose? 20! Keen killed 20 SCVs, and now he's ahead with only 33 against 26.
Yeah, I feel the control could have been a little bit better. You're right. That is the correct count. 33 to 27 in Keen's favor. The control of MMA defending, or rather using his Banshees offensively, could have been a lot better, and that's something that really came back to bite him. Keen going to go for a small drop here. That could kind of even up the tide here, as MMA does not have, not even up the tide, but further put him in the hole because he does not have any units up at the top.
Oh, that's more SCVs dying and a lot of mining time lost as well. He's trying to take out the refineries. Finally, a small amount of units for MMA trying to end this drop play by Keen. But Keen is just pulling back with his Marines right now, trying to take off additional SCVs, and he's doing a great job here. He killed another 6? Yeah, he killed another 4. Sorry, he killed another 4, and now he's taking down another one. He's actually doing a really good job at harassing at this point. Is in the supply lead, still has to struggle with the Banshee though.
Yeah, the Banshee in his main base is not well positioned though. It does only get 1 kill. Now it's getting too close to the missile turret. Not much else he can do with his Banshees at this point. Keen
mass repair on a siege tank here, saving it actually.
Yeah, that was pretty sick.
And he has to scan so often in order to decloak these Banshees, to detect them. He's losing his supply depot now as well. This is really bad. He just doesn't have to detect.
Oh, check this out. He actually sacrifices a Viking to save the Banshee. That was an interesting choice. Banshee does remain alive as a result.
It's like chess.
Yeah.
The poor pawn getting sacrificed so that the knight can escape.
Absolutely, man. That's a very good analogy. I heard you've been playing a lot of chess recently.
Well, not a lot. I try to keep in touch with my dad, and he's really lazy writing emails, so we play online chess. Hey, I just checkmated him, okay? I'm really proud of myself because I realized that I suck at chess.
Yeah, I used to play chess somewhat competitively, but when I went back to play, I mean, it had been years, I was like, wow, I'm terrible. I had that realization as well.
Keen is getting his next piece into position as he harasses the mineral line once again, this time with his own Banshee.
His own delayed Banshee.
Doing a lot of damage with it. But at the same time, he's preparing a drop.
Yeah, he's going to follow this up with a drop. He needs to draw the forces away from the main base, which is exactly what he's going to do here. And when they leave, the drop will come in.
Yeah, this is a brilliant play. He's just making sure that MMA is always on his toes. He's running to the left, to the right. He tries to keep up with Keen here, but Keen is at this point dominating this. MMA was really doing so well with his own Banshee arrest, but this is just so well done.
Yeah, he's just doing so much damage here. The drop does get cleaned up by Cloak Banshees. This is actually such a funny situation to have 2 players harassing with Banshees in such a way, both with Cloak.
I have actually to say that MMA did a lot better against this drop than I suspected.
Yeah, he had 1 siege tank in place.
He had a siege tank in place, so he was able to take down the Marines a lot faster than I would have thought. And Keen just dropped all of his Marines in siege tank range. I don't think he realized that there was one positioned over there. If he would have, he would probably just use the Marines a little bit more to the right, and then he could have killed a few more SCVs. Another Banshee goes in, gets immediately scanned
He does
and killed.
He does get a glimpse of MMA's Sky power here, though. He sees a ton of Vikings out as well as some Banshees, so he's going to have to start powering out his own Viking production if he wants to be able to stop this.
And you know what I think is really interesting? At this point, Keen was able to kill 42 SCVs over the course of the game.
And that puts him about 15 ahead at 59 to 44 SCVs.
Which is a great position to be in if you have a good economy, and Keen is trying to make sure that he's not losing the lead in income. He's going for third base at this point, while another Medivac is going in.
He's
scanning
the
ahead.
tank, and he's like, no way.
He scans ahead, and this is so important as a Terran in general, but especially in TVT, that you always know where exactly your opponent is positioned.
There's a Thundercats logo on this map.
You are right. There's actually a Thundercats logo to the bottom right.
It says Gorarian Systems, but man, I know that's a Thundercats logo.
Do you know that they set up the show again? It's now Thundercats 2011?
Yeah, Doa actually. Whoa, check out that.
Yeah, that was nice. Forces another scan. Really well done.
Doa showed me that show when he was still here, and I actually watched it. It was good. I didn't finish it, but I watched maybe like 4 episodes. It was pretty good, I thought.
Yeah, it's still running, and I kind of enjoy it. It makes me a little bit nostalgic.
Yeah, it's quite good. I thought that the way it was made was pretty awesome. If I were a kid, you know, young at this time, and I was watching the show, I'd be very happy with it.
Why do you have to be a kid? I enjoy it. Man.
No, I know, but I mean, for example, if I grew up with this show, I would get the same feeling as I did if I grew up with the original.
Yeah, that's true.
So like I like these kids that are watching it now when they're like 30 are probably gonna be like, yeah, I remember Thundercats, it was sick.
Because just think about it, what we have today and these shows is actually pretty sad. You have like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And earlier we had Saber Rider, we had the Gummy Bears, we had Thundercats and all those great shows, and we have Blue Flame Hellions in the main base of Keen, harassing here and trying to even out the work account. But even though Keen scouted this very late, he did quite well here. He only lost 5 SCVs.
Yeah, 4 or 5 there.
4 or 5, yeah.
It was very little. The Hellions did escape, though, so that was a pretty good trade for MMA. MMA has constantly been slightly behind in workers, but he's been able to keep up his worker production a little bit better than... The MMA has been able to keep his worker production a little bit better than MMA, or rather than Keen. I'm saying everything wrong. But so the worker deficit's now not as big as it used to be.
It's kind of interesting to see that we have a change in strategy here. We basically have both players with opposing strategies. Once again, Keen going for the bio play while his opponent is going for mech. And Keen is about to finish +2 attack and +1 armor. Trying to drop on the low ground here, but the Vikings are a huge problem for him, taking down the Medivac, but he still was able to drop a few of them, and now his opponent is losing SCVs once again. MMA in this game, his biggest challenge was to produce SCVs. He lost 52 in total. It's actually insane how much damage Keen does.
Here is what I like to see, though, man. Keen is finally starting to be frontally aggressive, man. He's not going to start picking away his opponent anymore. He's actually just going in the front door.
He's not beating around the bush anymore.
Yeah, Keen, I think, is just going to take MMA out here. I think MMA is going to start to fall apart as a result. He's lost way too much. Losing production here. May lose his orbital. It looks like he's going to save it, but he's losing all of his SCVs underneath. And a total of 66 SCVs killed by Keen here. The army will finally be cleaned up. There's a second one already on its way. This is a bio composition with just a few siege tanks mixed in. A very unique way of playing bio coming out here from Keen.
This is just the decision making that we've been talking about earlier. Keen always trying to occupy his opponent at one position while already preparing to attack another. I really like this multitasking that he uses here in order to get into a decent position. And he did a ton of damage with this last push. Suddenly we only have a worker count of 63 to 46. And MMA, even though on 3 bases, he's struggling here.
I'm a little bit surprised Keen has not taken a 4th with this very aggressive army, and I'm a little bit surprised he has not been more, like I said, like frontally aggressive, getting aggressive at the front of the base, just straight up attacking his opponent with the army advantages he had, the advantages he got. He never traded as well as I thought he would. And if he allows MMA to remax here, then he's going to be in an awkward position again. Another drop, but these drops are just not very cost efficient anymore.
Yeah, he needs to be really careful here. We still have Vikings on the map, but he is able to take down well, actually, this drop is definitely worth it. He takes down
he takes out the sensor tower.
Oh, he could capture. Yes, he does.
He catches the tank, and will probably get a tech lab as well.
But we have Hellions now in the main base of Keen. MMA is trying to take down a few units, kills 1 SCV. That's all that he achieves here. Very well defended by Keen while being aggressive on his own. And I have to say that Keen is just playing this so well. MMA, on the other hand, he's not out of it yet.
Yeah, he's not out of it. He's just being so patient. continue to remax, rebuild his production facilities. It's 3 base against 3 base, and when you have an SCV count over your opponent, if you're not mining really from your main base, it doesn't actually matter all too much.
What MMA was trying to do is he was trying to set up 2 sensor towers because he was really fed up with Keen just attacking on different sides of the map. Another Hellion bites the dust here, not being able to do too much damage to the economy of Keen. But MMA was really fed up with this, so he tries to build 2 sensor towers, but one of them gets taken out, and now he loses another Banshee as well, while Keen is preparing his next drop play.
Yep, he scans. As soon as the sensor tower up, he was like, well, are you going to react or not? He reacted, so he pulled his medevacs back. MMA 50 supply down at this point of 153 to 200. Plus 3 ground weapons is almost done. Is almost halfway done. Plus 2 armor is finishing up here. And 2 tanks at the time still coming out for MMA, who he's got plus 2 on the way, but so does Keen, who again is being very unique with his composition, always having about 4 to 8 siege tanks in his bio mix.
Oh, I'm really a little bit afraid for MMA right now, but I have to say, especially those sensor towers were a great decision.
Oh,
he was able to fend off the last attack, but now Keen is trying to end this game. He's on 200 supply. Whoa,
got triple starport. Yeah, he's doing it. He knows this is going to be the way to get checkmate.
Exactly. He is trying to get in position.
This is something
immediately Thor's by MMA.
MMA expects this. He's already started Thor production. He's getting another starport of his own. He knows this is the transition. This is the only way that Keen can kill him, basically. But Keen has the 4th base up right now, and that is already starting to kill him slowly here.
Exactly. He has the 4th base up, and he is getting another command center at this point, so he really tries to get this huge economy.
Fusion core on the way for Keen.
It will be dancing, guys.
Absolute
double command center also for MMA. Keen trying to take out a few siege tanks here. And moving in, flanking, but is this really what he should do? He's trying to take down the tanks.
It looks like he has enough.
A ton.
He has enough.
These Marauders, there's so many of them, and they do a ton of damage to the tanks.
He breaks through.
They are not able to break this Bioforce.
And now he's going to be able to take out this base potentially down at the bottom left. Keen looking very strong in this position right now.
Yes, he does. We have Slayer's MMA dropping down to 114 supply against 150. More SCVs are dying as MMA loses ground. Overall, Keen was able to take down 85 SCVs. I think I've never seen this before.
I've seen it in only a few games.
Not in the me personally, not in the TVT though.
I may have, I can't say for sure. I remember one game I've seen 150 SCVs killed and a TVZ, or drones killed rather. It was against Fruit Dealer. I don't remember who the Terran was, but it can happen. But this is actually absurd. I'm not trying to take away from what you said, Keller, because actually this is, as you said, a little bit out of control right now.
It just shows how much emphasis Keen puts on taking down the economy of his opponent. But now these siege tanks will be caught. Thor's trying to bait damage, and of course the Thor is dying as well. MVP Keen lost a lot here, but another force is running in. He's doing this over and over and over again.
He knows he's got the better economy now. He has the more mobile force. His opponent does not have that critical mech mass that he needs to stop these attacks one after another.
Beautiful play here. I love this. And he's scanning onto the high ground, taking down more tanks, and it's going to be so hard for MMA to get his tanks back into the game. The tank
no, he never will. He doesn't have enough economy. He has the production facilities, but not the economy. He's taking out more tech labs here, which will completely halt the tank production. Again, he even gets another siege tank before these units die. Keen only 50 supply ahead here. Well, I say only, but that's pretty huge, but he just has the better composition. He is 30 supply ahead alone in workers, doubling 60 to 31.
And he's on 3-3 now as well. He has 3-3 for his bio units. He can transition whenever he decides to do so. He has 4 bases on the map at this point, additional command centers too. And this is just brutal. This is really brutal. He's trying to get into a decent position once again with the Medivacs, but the Medivacs fly right into the Viking. He has to unload here, and he does.
Yep, but
not gave his position away.
Yeah, not too bad. He does give his position away, but he's still going to be able to fight from the high ground here like he wants to, if, well, depending on how he decides to do this. I think he's just going to try to lift some of them out of there, though.
And he has another drop already in position, even though there are sensor towers at this point he doesn't care anymore, because the army supply for MMA is so low with 65 against 112. The Slayer's player is struggling here and falling farther behind. Very nice job by Keen in this game. I must say, I'm really impressed by his performance here.
Yeah, this is actually so sick.
And the command
He's just
center
gonna
dies.
clean it up. Kill in the last army here. GG! Keen ties it up 1-1.
And with such an impressive game, I had a quick look at the kill count just before we left the game. 111 SCV kills. He really wanted to take those guys down.
Yeah.
And he's look at his face. He's really happy with himself. And
Very aggressive play. I think almost a little bit passive in some ways. There was a moment where I was like, he's harassing too much, but MMA was never able to get the correct defense up for the harassment. Yeah, I feel if he had gotten the defense up at his main base, like he almost got several times and defended against those drops a little bit better, he would have been able to pull off a win, probably. I mean, not even potentially, but probably. But again, MMA had his third base up at the same time. He had even economy with his opponent, but just lost too much.
He's not too upset about it. He knows that he can take the third map, that he is a really strong player. So I really like this when a player loses and he has the mindset that he knows exactly, okay, I lost the game, but I did not lose the war, and is able to just look forward to the next game. So yeah, this is going to be the deciding match. We have the map. It is Cloud Kingdom. And well, I really hope that we see another game like this. And Keen, his multitasking, it's just insane. And his decision making, always trying to bait his opponent, attacking to the left, saying, come on, try to defend, take as much of your army as you want, and I will just try to be aggressive on a different position in your main base, at your natural, wherever. Try to find an opening to do damage.
Yeah. His harassment phase, I feel, lasted a little bit longer than it should have, but because MMA never was able to correctly defend, it just didn't matter.
MMA tried to stabilize, and this is exactly what the sensor towers were for, but he had a huge problem doing it because his opponent was just so relentless. He never stopped.
He never stopped. I mean, usually to a certain point, you get defense up, your opponent's harassment has to stop, he has to start engaging you at the front, but because he was never able to get those sensor towers up, never get the turrets in place, it just did not matter. Well, this is our third and final game. It is going to be on GSL Cloud Kingdom. Who will get the code S spot? Will it be Commander Kane, or will it be Slayers MMA, the fan favorite? We're about to find out here at the GSL Code A Round 3 with Caldor and Wolf.